In this video, we are going to talk about Manager Kim chapter number 187. In the last chapter, we saw that Manager Kim and Closer had woken up. They were ready to take their revenge on the king. So we start off this chapter by the time when King was about to pick a person to experiment the drugs that Closer stole from the laboratory in China. So he stood before his men and he asked, "Who is going to volunteer for the experimentation?" And Closer immediately picked up his hand and the king says, "As expected from you, Closer. That's why you are the position that you are in." And after watching Closer, everybody picks up their hand and they're like, "Me, I can do it. Please give me a chance." And then the scene shifts to the original battlefield where King were fighting these guys, and Manager Kim and Closer go for an attack, and the king tosses them in the air like they are nothing. And the king says, "Maybe I already expected this, that one day a moment like this would come to me as well." And he kicks Closer away, and Closer goes flying backwards, and he punches Manager Kim in the abdomen. He also went flying backwards, and the king says, "It's true that because of God's realm, I was able to keep myself in the prime. However, it wasn't the only reason that I was able to climb the head position of the black market." And then Tom Lee shows up from his left and he says, "Whatever you're saying is total nonsense. You are a dead man." And then Jinchol Park shows up from behind. He says, "Wait, let them take care of it. I can see a grudge between these three. Can't you see? From the way that they are fighting till the last drop of strength they have." And Tom Lee's like, "What?" Then Jinchol Park shows him the original copy of the letter that Miss Kim sent to Tom Lee, and Tom Lee cannot believe it. He's like, "What?" And then Jinchol Park explains that Manager Kim kept the original copy safe. He said that you carry a letter everywhere you went. He said that it would be useful one day. And Tom Lee is crying. He says, "Ho ho, as expected of the ace." And Jinchol Park says, "If he's the ace, take care of him." And we go back to the fighting, and the king says, "I was surprised to see the relationship between you and Closer. Your friendship is out of this world." And the king goes for a hard kick on Manager Kim. And even though Manager Kim blocked it, he felt the strength of the king. And the king goes for multiple attacks, and he says, "I don't believe in fairy tales, but when a miracle repeats itself many times, that is no longer a miracle, but fate." And then Manager Kim goes for his signature CQC, and the king is spitting blood from his mouth. He says, "Shit, my reactions are slowing down." Then Closer goes for his signature kick, a punch to the king's face and a kick to the ribs of the king. And the king says, "My moments till now were possible because my body, but this body can no longer keep up in his fight." But then the king realizes the importance of this fight. He says, "I can't allow myself to be defeated by someone who worked under me." And he goes for a punch to the Closer's body and a knee to the Closer's face and a kick to the Closer's body and a punch, and Closer is spitting blood from his mouth. And the king says, "Let me ask you one thing, Closer. Did you think of yourself as a main character of some story? A tragic character who lost his memories? Don't be mistaken, Closer." And Closer says, "No, I was the opposite. I never lost my memories. I remembered everything from the beginning, from what you did to me and what you told me to do. The only thing that I lost were my emotions and my heart. I just lost the importance of those memories and lived like an empty soul. But the opposite of what I thought happened. The more drugs went into my system, the more my memories became clearer." And then we get a flashback of the scene when Manager Kim and Closer were in the army and they were about to go on a mission, and Closer is saying, "I will come back alive and I will create my own family. The government said that they will find you a wife if the mission is a success." And the young Manager Kim says, "A wife? I don't even remember my name. Stop talking about that nonsense and prepare yourself. The mission is tomorrow." And then we come back to the original scene. Closer puts a hard punch on the king's face and the king goes flying backwards. Then Manager Kim comes from behind and goes for multiple attacks, and the king says, "CQC and Jeet Kune Do?" And then Closer goes for his multiple attacks, and the king says, "CQC and martial arts?" And Closer says, "That's right." And he also says, "All I wanted to do was to show him myself that the undefeatable man is beginning to break apart." And Closer goes for a kick on the king's face, and Manager Kim slams the king on the ground. And Closer says, "Finally, the end is near." And he tells Manager Kim, "Hey 73, I have something to tell you. I volunteered for some experiments and got drugs injected into my system. And of course, because of that, I almost met my end. But because of that, something happened to me." And Closer happily says, "I remembered my name." And then we see a flashback of the scene when these two were tortured together side by side to forget their names and memories. And the instructor is standing there. He says, "You idiots, you don't have names." And Closer says, "I was there beside you. But when I underwent pituitary gland experiment, my emotions were erased, but my memories only became more vivid." And he lands a kick into the stomach of the king. king, and both of them together go for an attack on the king, and the king goes flying backwards. And Closer says, one by one, the pieces of the puzzle fell together, and we see all the memories of Manager Kim from the beginning till now, his friends, his enemies, and his family. And then Closer says, my name is Park Young Gwang, and don't get shocked, your real name is. That is the last panel of this chapter. So they just revealed the real name of the original Code 66, and Manager Kim's name is about to be revealed in the next chapter. So that's it from this chapter. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the next chapter. Thank you.